In today's video, I'm going to be talking about gluten-free alcoholic beverages. So if you're planning a party or a family gathering, you'll be pleased to know that you can now serve gluten-free alcoholic drinks. Hi, I'm Mike Hines from JustKnowGluten.com, creator of this channel, Gluten Advice. So if you like the content and you like the video, why not give it a like or subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the notification bell down the bottom. That way you will stay informed of all things we do on the Gluten Advice channel. We post videos on here 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So pop back from time to time. We'd love to see you. Okay, let's get straight into the content. If you are planning a family party or some kind of social occasion, you'll be relieved to know that there are many gluten-free beverages you can now serve. It doesn't really matter what kind of social gathering it is, you will easily find gluten-free alcoholic drinks that you can serve. You can now serve the perfect alcoholic beverage, whether the event is formal, informal, seasonal, private or large function. Let's discuss dietary restrictions. When you're on a gluten-free diet, this does affect your alcoholic options. Ingredients that are not gluten-free include wheat, oats, malt, barley and rye. Now you might feel your options are limited on a gluten-free diet, but you can still enjoy an alcoholic beverage. You now have more and more choices of gluten-free alcoholic beverages. Let's have a look at your gluten-free options. It's not that long ago that there was very few alcoholic beverages on the market for anybody on a gluten-free diet. I'm glad to say things have changed over the years, and even now we have gluten-free beer festivals. We now have plenty of choices for gluten-free alcoholic drinks. A quick message for beer drinkers: don't worry, we'll be discussing gluten-free beer later in this video. Nowadays you can find all types of wines, including champagne, port and sherry, to suit both your palate and your menu. Although you should always, as we specify in all our videos, read the labels before you purchase anything. Distilled alcohol is inherently gluten-free. And distilled alcohol includes gin, vodka, Scotch whisky and rye whisky. Although whiskies are derived from wheat, barley or rye, the distilling process removes the gluten proteins. As I said a few seconds ago, you should always check the labels. If you're in any doubt about the ingredients used in your Scotch or whatever, ask the manufacturer about it. Again, I repeat, do read the labels. It's very important. There are times you'll assume a drink is gluten-free and then discover it's not. For example, you might think that hard cider is only made from fermented apples, when in fact some hard ciders have barley added to the recipe. Don't assume all wines are gluten-free, so it's important to check the labels. You should pay special attention to pre-mixed drinks for the ingredients. It doesn't matter what the celebration is, you'll now be able to make a toast, a gluten-free toast. Again, we repeat, as long as you read the labels and understand the ingredients that make up the different types of beer, wine and spirits, before you purchase any alcohol, do check the labels. Cheer up, there is such a thing as gluten-free beer. Although beer isn't good for you, who said that? And you'd be best to avoid it entirely. Chances are you're still going to be on the lookout for a brew. Obviously, this is where we have to give proper advice. If you are going to drink, please drink sparingly and eat plenty of food in between. This also applies for those of you drinking beer, the gluten-free beer. Big question, why gluten-free beer? Celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity affects about 2 million Americans. Now, I have discussed celiac disease in a previous video, and I will leave a link to it in the description below. 2 million is a very large consumer population. Research into celiac disease and its causes is ongoing, but for those who suffer, it's very painful. In celiac disease, the sufferer's digestive tract can no longer handle a protein called gluten, which is found in a huge variety of foods, especially those made from grains such as wheat, rye and barley. And barley is the main ingredient in beer. Now, if a celiac drinks normal beer, he's going to suffer with cramps, irritable bowels and stomach upsets of various degrees. These symptoms can greatly affect a person's quality of life. The first question people ask, is it still beer? Gluten-free beer is mainly made from cereals such as rice, buckwheat, corn, sorghum and millet. And they all have one thing in common, they don't contain any gluten. The good news is there are now tasty 100% gluten-free beers on the market, even one made by the giant breweries Anheuser-Busch called Redbridge. Redbridge is a hearty, full-bodied lager brewed using imported Hallertau and domestic Cascade hops. It is brewed with sorghum and has well-balanced, moderately hopped taste. The Redbridge lager is light and slightly sweet with a healthy carbonation level. Good to know it goes down well. And I'm happy to say that sorghum isn't the predominant taste. The downside is that most gluten-free beers are made by smaller breweries, so finding them might be a little bit difficult. This is a good question. Does gluten-free beer taste like beer? Well, according to online review sites where anybody can weigh in with their unpaid opinion, the verdict is that each brand of gluten-free beer has their own distinctive taste. But the one that seemed to come out on top was Redbridge, which was often compared to tasting like sweeter regular beers on the market like Sam Adams and Killian's. Gluten-free beer looks the same as normal beer and can produce a frothy, foamy head. One suggestion on a review site suggested drinking your first gluten-free beer with a gluten-free food in order better to adjust the taste, in case you prefer bitter beers. And oh yes, you can still get drunk on gluten-free beer. The usual word of advice, do drink responsibly. Hello, I'm Mike Hines from JustNoGluten.com, creator of this channel, Gluten Advice. I do hope you enjoyed today's video on gluten-free alcoholic drinks. If so, why not give it a like or subscribe to my channel. Again, thank you for watching. I shall see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.